everyone. So this is video number 4 of the lecture series on forensic chemistry and toxicology, especially made for my BS Criminology students during the pandemic. For this lecture, we will learn how cannabis as evidence is analyzed in the laboratory. By the way, if you haven't seen the previous video lectures, you could always check those from this channel. I've included the links in the description box for reference. Also, if you find this lecture helpful and would wish to join our discussion, please hit the subscribe button below and feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section. Okay, let's start this lecture with your most anticipated mystery case. Please watch and don't forget to comment your answer. I hope you now have your answer. Don't forget to share it in the comment section below. Moving on from the previous video, I've mentioned that controlled drug production and use tends to concentrate around 4 drugs or drug types. So these are cannabis, opiates, cocaine, and the amphetamine type substances. Again, these substances can be categorized through their mechanisms of production as naturally occurring materials, such in the case of cannabis, semi-synthetic materials derived from natural products, examples include opiates and cocaine, and synthetic materials for the amphetamine type substances. So today we will focus on cannabis, including 3 of its most common forms: plant material, resin, and hashish, and their active components. We will also discuss a different confirmatory test for analyzing cannabis. According to the United Nations Office of Drugs and Crime 2014, cannabis is the most consumed illicit drug in the world and therefore the subject of most illegal trafficking in one form or another. The botanical name of cannabis is Cannabis sativa. For illicit or illegal use, cannabis is referred to as marijuana or the herbal cannabis and hashish or the cannabis resin. It may also be termed hemp to refer to cannabis plants grown for their fiber content. A number of forms of the drug may be encountered, including plant material, resin, and hash oil. The active ingredient in all of this is delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol or delta-9 THC. Simply said, THC works by attaching to cannabinoid receptors which have been mapped throughout the brain and nervous system. THC can be detected in the body much longer than most other drug compounds, so like up to 20 hours after ingestion. Although the psychoactive effects only last for a few hours. It's stored in the body fat and organs for 3 to 4 weeks. Hair follicle testing may identify THC after even longer periods of time, say around 90 days. Urine testing is often used but has been found to be an unreliable method of detection. Also found is delta 9 tetrahydrocannabinolic acid, or THCOOH, which is converted to delta 9 THC through smoking. Another active compounds present are the compounds delta 8 tetrahydrocannabinol, cannabi, cannabidiol CBD, and cannabinol CBN, as well as the other 50 minor cannabinoids. But before I forget, I'd like to mention that delta H THC, as defined by the National Cancer Institute, is an analog of tetrahydrocannabinol, which exhibits a lower psychotropic potency than delta 9 THC. So as a result, delta H THC is able to provide medicinal benefits with a mellower effect to a person's mental state, in contrast to the deep mental stimulation that can come from higher concentrations of delta 9 THC. Before proceeding to how cannabis is analyzed, Section 21 of RA 9165 stipulates that the PDEA shall take charge and have custody of all dangerous drugs, plant sources of dangerous drugs, controlled precursors and essential chemicals, as well as instruments, paraphernalia, and/or laboratory equipment, so confiscated, seized, and/or surrendered for proper disposition. Kindly prepare a summary of the legal steps involved for this and bring your copy during your final exam. Please wait first for the announcement of your exam. Maybe we will be doing it online also, or I could schedule it so that there will only be five batches probably for your exam. So just wait for further announcement. Okay, so for the analysis, cannabis is presented to the laboratories in plant form. So the morphological characteristics of the plant are used to provide an identification of the material, leaf shape, and in particular the presence of the various trichomes of the plants or characteristics of cannabis sativa. The main presumptive test for cannabis, or the Duquesnoy-Levine test, which is carried out in test tubes and gives a violet layer in the presence of cannabinoids. Simply described, the Duquesnoy-Levine test. This test is performed by placing a specific amount of the target substance in a glass tube, so in this case the cannabis. Then drops of the Duquesnoy reagent will be added. So the Duquesnoy reagent can be prepared by adding vanillin and acetaldehyde to ethanol. After shaking and mixing, drops of concentrated hydrochloric acid will be added. So you need to do the final shaking and observe the color change after the addition of hydrochloric acid. Any color that results after the addition of HCl, or hydrochloric acid, should be recorded. So chloroform or a similar solvent will then be added, and the tube is vortexed, usually for mixing, then allowed to settle and separate into two layers. Any color that transfers into the organic layer should be recorded. Marijuana, as well as a variety of other plant substances, becomes purple with the addition of the Duquesnoy agent and hydrochloric acid. Upon addition of the organic solvent, the purple color transfers to the organic layer, indicating that cannabinoids may be present. Okay, aside from Duquesnoy test, we also have what we call, or what they call, fast blue BB test. This test would give a purple or red color change for cannabinoids, so very similar to the Duquesnoy test. Both Duquesnoy test and the fast blue BB test are quite sensitive to the amount of delta 9 THC present, meaning to say uh, it could it could give negative results for old plants and resin samples, as you know, delta 9 THC content may be reduced, especially if it's already stored for a longer period of time. Thin layer chromatography, or TLC, can also be used to identify which drug is present within a drug class, as each different compound within the drug group can be separated on the basis of chemical structure, molecular weight, and so on. In many cases, the TLC plates need to be developed using chemical developers that would give characteristic colors for the compounds under test. Uh, Aside from TLC, we also have high performance liquid chromatography, GC and GCMS, may also be used as confirmatory analysis. So HPLC and GCMS, or gas chromatography mass spectroscopy. However, in many cases, presumptive tests like the ones mentioned and TLC are already sufficient or are deemed sufficient for court purposes. Alright, so that's all for your analysis. Let's try to solve another case. Please watch the video. Please watch, yes, the video after this. Okay, so I hope that you've already posted your answers in the comment section below. So the analysis of cocaine will be discussed soon in the next video. Thank you for watching.